Thanks for watching. I want to draw your attention to 3 concepts that will make this etude much more effective for you. First, let's talk about tempo. The etude's marked allegretto, tempo di minuetto. When you see a minuet in 3 and want to know how fast to play it, reference either any typical waltz and watch the fluidity of the dancer's movements, or listen to basically any Beethoven symphony or chamber piece with a minuet movement. Minuets will always be in some kind of triple meter, and most times they'll be felt in 1. This etude is definitely felt in 1, and allegretto means very fast. The tempo I chose for this etude, for the ideal flow and technique I'm looking for, is close to dotted eighth equals 50 in a 1 feel, or eighth note equals 160 for a 3 feel. Practice it in both versions of the tempo, and you'll find it might make you phrase or articulate the etude differently. Second, I want to draw your attention to the bars that have 4/16 and an eighth note. Find as many of these bars as you can. How many of them have a staccato mark on the last eighth note? How many of them have accents? You see what I'm getting at. Accents are not the same as staccato marks, so don't cut off the ends of the bars. This is what it might sound like if there were staccatos. And this is how I played it. Do you hear the difference? Minuets are all about perpetual motion, which is why I don't want to cut off the phrase into measure by measure. I want it to feel like it's actually going somewhere. Much like you might finish a sentence in conversation, or how a wheel turns on a bike. You have to pedal to get it to move, but it continues turning between pedals regardless. It doesn't just stop. As for the accents, in my opinion, they're placed specifically to make you think harder about where you place emphasis. In minuets, stylistically, we place emphasis on beat 1. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta, ta-da-ta-ta-ta. Here, you're asked to keep the stylistic quality of beat 1 in a minuet, but also place emphasis on beat 3. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta, ta-da-ta-ta-ta. How much emphasis you place on each, beat 1 and beat 3, is up to you. Will one be weighted more heavily than the other? Finally, it's important to take a look at the dynamics and relation of the phrasing of this etude. There aren't many dynamics written, but when they do come up, they don't give us much direction. There's so much inherent musicality in this etude because of the range, the chord changes, and the contour of the melody. So how do we keep the integrity of the dynamics while creating our own kind of phrasing? Look at each line of the etude. Line 1, forte. Line 2, piano. 3, forte. 4, piano. Visualize each dynamic as a big slur over each phrase of 4 to 8 bars. If you wrote the slur as a wiggly line, the listener might start to feel seasick, don't you think? But if we maintain that dynamic all the way through the phrase using air support, it not only creates a more confident sound, but helps you maintain stability and consistency with getting notes to speak. Try also changing the ends of the piano phrases. For the second line, taper the last 2 bars off and come in strong on the next forte to create contrast. For the fourth line, crescendo as written in the last 4 bars, but instead of tapering off, stay strong to the end. This will emphasize the end of the etude and create that applause feeling. Yay! I hope this helps, and good luck practicing.